A shootout in Daviess County injures an Indiana State Police trooper. Kerry Schneider brings us his weekly report from the Humane Society, and sports with Kurt Gooksell. Those stories and much more are up next here on 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. In your news, 2 people were shot and an Indiana State Police trooper was injured following a shooting on US 50 near Black Oak Armaments in Montgomery. ISP Trooper Jared Lentz responded to a report of a disturbance near Black Oak Armaments in Montgomery shortly after 1:35 yesterday afternoon. At approximately 2 p.m., there was a report of shots that were fired at the business along the 4700 block of US 50 between Trooper Lentz and the suspect, identified by police later as 60-year-old James Jones of Shoals. State police say Jones died as a result of the gunfire exchange, and Trooper Lentz was struck multiple times by bullets. Lentz was transported to Daviess Community Hospital and later to Deaconess Hospital in Evansville, where he was treated and released for his injuries, which were not life-threatening. State police say the investigation is still ongoing. The Jasper Utility Service Board met last night and held a follow-up discussion on the Beaver Lake meeting with the general public that was held earlier last week. Utilities Board Chairman Wayne Sheeter said they received a lot of good information from the citizens of Jasper regarding the lake level. The board realizes that there is a problem and they are preparing to investigate the matter further.
The Water Committee committee will meet between now and our July meeting to discuss what our next steps might be. We really don't know at this time, but we will be evaluating the situation, and then the recommendation will be made to the full board in July about possible next steps. So we'll see what happens with that.
The Utility Board wants to make the public aware that the water level is lower and that causes safety issues. The board is asking that people take precautions when using the lake and keep an eye out for exposed tree stumps and other obstructions. The Utility Board will meet in July to discuss further options for fixing the Beaver Lake spillway issue. The other main topic that the Utility Board dealt with at last night's meeting was the digester dome near the wastewater plant. There is a huge fiberglass dome that traps the methane gas coming off of the digester. This has been done for nearly 22 years and is used to produce both electricity and heat for the plant. Jasper is the first city in Indiana to use this type of energy and is only one of 2 cities in Indiana that use this process. Sheeter says this digester saves them a large amount of money every year, and it does need some repair, but is entirely safe.
That saves us about $88,000 a year in heating and electric costs. The inner membrane has sprung a leak. Our sensors indicated that. There is no danger at this point, but we need to replace it. Last time we replaced it was $85,000. Now we're looking at $322,000. But it is something that we benefit from. It's environmentally responsible, so we decided to go ahead and do that.
Sheeter says the big difference in cost is due to the increase in material costs, as well as a rise in installation costs. There is no set timetable for the repairs to start, but Sheeter thinks the project will be completed within the next couple of months. The inner membrane for the digester dome was last replaced in 2002. Yesterday morning, the DuBois County Commissioners voted unanimously in favor of splitting the funding stake in the railroad overpass that is scheduled to be built in Huntingburg in the near future. The project will be funded by 80% federal highway grants through NDOT, and the remaining 20% of the cost of the overpass will come from the city of Huntingburg. That 20% will be split between the city of Huntingburg and DuBois County under a new interlocal agreement. Last night on 18 WJTS's Monday with the Mayor, Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spinner said DuBois County has been supportive of this project from the beginning.
From the very beginning of this process, the county has expressed interest in helping with the project. As we explained before, it's an 80% funding from the federal highway funds through NDOT, a 20% local match. Huntingburg is the lead agency on this. So basically, the 20% match is a responsibility of the Huntingburg according to the state. But the county commissioners and the county council have been part of our planning and discussions along the way.
Spinner says raising the 20% of the funds necessary for their end of the project may not have been possible without the commitment of the county commissioners.
And we probably wouldn't make this possible without the help of the county in this. So I want to thank the commissioners and all those in our county government for recognizing how important this is to our community and making that commitment today.
Spinner says the next step is for attorneys to draft a formal agreement along with finding and determining the cost of a consultant. He says once all of that is determined, city and county officials will then go before the county council to gain final approval for the funding agreement to move forward. Vincennes University President Dick Helton says VU will remain among the most affordable options for Indiana college students under a proposed tuition plan to be considered by the Board of Trustees on June 26th. During a public hearing last week about VU's proposed tuition and fee increase, Helton said the university believes the increase is fair, modest, and that the school will still offer the lowest tuition and fees among residential institutions in the state. Helton says that speaks very well for Vincennes University, its administration, faculty and staff, and the Board of Trustees. No one spoke against the proposed increase at the public hearing that was also broadcast at multiple VU sites across the state. Under the proposal, VU would raise tuition and fees $4.60 per credit hour for the 2013-2014 school year and $5.20 per credit hour for the 2014-2015 school year. If the board approves the proposal, tuition and fees for full-time in-state students would increase to $5,022 for the upcoming school year and would top out at $5,178 during the 2014-2015 school year. Students currently pay $4,884. Helton said that VU would remain the most affordable residential college in the state and offer the second lowest tuition overall. For example, VU's 2013-2014 projected annual tuition and fees would be less than half of that at Indiana University Bloomington. Helton said the increase is needed to cover rising operational costs that include teaching and staffing, repair and rehabilitation of facilities, maintenance, utilities, and instructional technology and equipment. One of VU's strengths, according to Helton, is its efficiency. He says that VU's operating cost per total full-time equivalent enrollment is $7,426, which is over $5,000 below the state average. The proposed increase in tuition and fees will be recommended by the administration to the Board of Trustees at its June 26th meeting. The public hearing in Vincennes was made available by two-way video conference to the VU Jasper campus, the Indianapolis Aviation Technology Center, the Gibson County Center for Advanced Manufacturing and Logistics, and the Plainfield Logistics Training and Education Center. And a couple of final notes for you this evening. Entry forms for this year's Jasper Strassenfest Talent Spiel are now available. The forms can be picked up either at the Jasper Chamber of Commerce or here at the 18 WJTS offices on Herbig Lane in Jasper. Forms can also be found on our website at WJTS.tv. Forms must be returned to the 18 WJTS offices by Friday, July 19th. Entries are limited to 16 for this year's event. The winner gets $100, second place wins $75, and third place wins $50. This year's Talent Spiel is set to be held on Saturday, August 3rd at 6 p.m. on the main stage at the Jasper Strassenfest. For more information, you can contact Krista Brightweiser at 482-2727. Finally this evening, 101 Country WBDC has completed its move to the corporate headquarters of DC Broadcasting in Jasper. The headquarters building, which is located at 3rd Avenue and Herbig Lane in Jasper, now houses WBDC, 103.3 WAXL, 18 WJTS TV, and the DC Broadcasting corporate offices. 18 WJTS TV has been housed in the building since last fall, and WAXL moved into the building just over a week ago. You can contact the headquarters building at 482-2727. Coming up after the break, Kerry Schneider makes his weekly trip to the Humane Society, plus sunny skies continue to dominate in your local forecast, sports with Kurt Guxell, and Inform featuring Huntingburg Chamber Executive Director Nick Stevens. That's up next here on 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.